Is Malone name and address kind of the same?
Yeah.
All the different backgrounds, and
My
then.
name is Mrs. Ann Malone. I live in the vicinity of 32nd Street and Indian School Road. I'm wearing two hats today to clarify. I am the president of the Indian School Corridor Citywide Coalition that is currently over 25,000 households and 700 businesses citywide. We consider the interests of the frontline officers as our own, and we will defend every position that is on the chopping block to the death. That said, I'm with him. And the two of us started the citizensforphoenix.org, and our proposal will be online tomorrow by 1 o'clock. The reason being, we believe that public safety is a partnership between the frontline officers and the residents. And when these first budget proposals came out, I went to the Frontline Officers Police Union and I said, you know, our group considers it our responsibility to defend every last position. However, after what we went through last year, we don't want to see everybody divided and fighting and pointing and this thing and that thing. And they agreed wholeheartedly with that and are standing with the community, and we're part of one of those 37 groups represented, which, by the way, represent over 50,000 households, not just neighborhoods, but services to those neighborhoods, people that are on the chopping block right now. Our guiding principle is to unify. And I, too, would like to appeal at this point to anybody who has the anti-tax position, which I have held for many, many years. I don't want any more taxes, especially on food. I have 7 children, all of whom come home for Sunday dinner. 5 boys. Anyway, the reality is that...
Just not to try to make fun, but so you're not the average family of 4?
No.
Okay.
We're not. Yeah. Anyway, the reality is that those at this point in time of this crisis are philosophical discussions. Should the city provide this? Should they not provide that? The reality is you do provide them. And our proposal suggests the food tax, yes, absolutely, but to respect our anti-tax brethren who have valid points of their own, we would ask that you rein in the period from 5 years to 2 years and acknowledge their concerns by allowing an outside audit of budget systems and processes, not as an accusation, as a process that every business, small business, is open to and is willing to do. This allows us as a community to get through these next 2 years together. The cuts that we have accepted, we went through each of the cuts, those will be online tomorrow as well. Basically, we've accepted $50 million of the cuts and we have rejected the $90 million that affects services to the most vulnerable in our community. And as a result of trying to save those services, we saved 65% of the civilian jobs, 91% of police, and 85% of fire. And again, as they are tied to the community. During this 2-year period, you give people the opportunity to prepare for the day that these programs may not exist because they're not deemed what we need to do going forward, or if they do and they expand or whatever. But the point is, the budget as it stands now and the way it's written is going to put people who have designed their lives around these programs right now today in jeopardy tomorrow if they get cut. And I think this is a good middle ground that respects both positions, and if we stay together and we don't point fingers and criticize, that we'll get through this together at the end of the 2 years. If we cut these people tomorrow, they will be on unemployment, their children will be unsafe. All the investments that we have put into training officers will be gone. They can't wait around to be rehired. In fact, how many officers take a test compared to how many we pick? It's not that easy. And so we're saying that perhaps our anti-tax brethren would consider going with this plan with us so that we can get there together. I think it respects everybody's interests, and it comes to a conclusion that I hope that we can all live with. We'll see. We'll be presenting this at the meetings. We agreed that everybody, all the organizations that are a part of citizensforphoenix.org will come to these budget meetings. We will speak only about what is good about what we do, and we will not criticize each other. We would like you to provide us with that leadership that will unite us rather than divide us in this time of crisis. I'm going to have a heart attack. Claude, Even after that first day, I have still not gotten used to this. You said I would.
Come on, you will get used to it.
You said I would, and I didn't. Anyway, that's it. So.